The popcorn stand. 10 cents a box? Marvelous. This is something that truly belongs in yesteryear, because it'll never pass this way again. There are few to no people who strolled along the streets of our pretty little village during the late 1950s and early 1960s who will forget Bob Ferguson and his popcorn stand. Summer had only truly arrived if and when Bob had his little concession up and running. In the accompanying postcard portrait, the stand is located in Exchange, Rubberneck Park on the northeast corner of Liberty and Main Streets. In the background one can just make out the Kishman fish houses standing along the river. The drinking fountain with the concrete steps to the right of the stand was a handy little device for popcorn lovers, because Bob didn't sell soft drinks, only popcorn and peanuts. Bob's rolling popcorn palace was not always at this location. Before the top of my head could reach the apex of the zero on the 10-cent letters painted on the wagon, it sat on the southwest corner of Liberty and Grand Streets in the side yard of the Ferguson home, once the Vermilion's lighthouse keeper's house. I have very vivid recollections of having to pass the wagon going to and from Bob and Lucille Noon's Liberty Theater on Friday and Saturday evenings and Sunday afternoons. Methinks that temptation must have an aroma like fresh popcorn. The quarter my mother had given me to go to the movies would start burning a hole in my pocket the minute I got near Ferguson's stand. The movie cost a dime and the treats at the theater ran from a nickel to a dime. And therein was a dilemma, for myself and many others. I could save my remaining 15 cents until after I spent an hour or so watching The Adventures of Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, Gene Autry, The Three Stooges, Bugs Bunny, and Daffy Duck, or, well, it was surely a dilemma for any youngster. And add to this one additional feature. At Hart's Corner Drugstore one could get a single scoop ice cream cone, any flavor, for what else? The low price of one thin dime. And if one was real lucky and happened to have an extra dime one could order a double dipper. Ferguson's father, Earl Sr., Fergie, had owned and operated Ferguson's bowling alley on Main Street at the back of the Fisher Building. By the time of this photo the bowling alley was long gone and other businesses filled the storefronts where it was located. Bob's brother's name was also Earl. But most folks knew him as Sonny. He worked on the Great Lakes as a young man, then returned and worked for Ford until his retirement. As I got to know Sonny, later in his life, he would regale me with stories of the old bowling alley, some work he used to do for Ed Fisher, Vermilion's former mortician and ambulance driver, and his experiences on the Lake Freighters. He was married to Nadine, née Osberg. Her father was Leonard Osberg, Vermilion's singing mayor, and local archery expert. But back to Bob's popcorn. The popcorn stand lingered on in town for a time after Mr. Ferguson sold it, culminating in a tragedy some years later that I'll not recount here. It would not be appropriate to cast a dark shadow on the positive, happy memories most folks have of this wagon. I have been told that plans are available to construct a similar kiosk. And I have also been told that those plans are costly. But, whatever the case, one can be assured that a box of fresh popped popcorn will never again cost just one thin dime.